Hi, this is Terry with Exact Line Tools. We started this repair by doing some PDR work with access through the taillight pocket. Once I got out most of the dents, I then sanded the entire area and prepped it for our first coat of plastic filler. Making sure that I cover the entire area that we're going to sweep with plastic filler, we're now ready to do our first sweep. We're going to use the number 2 blade with the stiffener because it's mostly a flat panel on the horizontal plane. I'm doing my sweeps. I'm pressing down on both control surfaces and it's looking really good. The first sweep looks great and we will continue that going up the side of the panel. Now I can see that the left side control surface is really nice. It blends it to 0 and I'm pressing harder on the right and achieving the same blending it to 0 technique, as we can see here. I'm taking the extra and I am putting it down at the bottom just below the style line. Now that area right there is flat as well. It has no radius in it. It's consistent with the panel just above the style line. So I'm going to use the same blade arrangement. That would be the number 2 blade with the stiffener to create a nice flat surface just in that area, because as we move down in that section, the panel will actually radius. It'll have a curve in it moving down. It goes from flat to a radiused panel, but we're going to accommodate the flat part first with the stiffener on the blade, and then we will see how we will do the rest of the panel in the next scene. We can see that the panel's been sanded. It looks really good. We've applied some guide coat, we blocked it, and we see a little bit of texture in the Bondo. That's no problem. We'll put a little filler on there and clean that up. Now, as I said, at the top of the panel it's flat, but down here, as we can see as I rock the blade, it is radiused. So we're going to transition from a flat section up top just below the style line to a radiused section from there down. And the way we do that is positioning of the blade in relationship to the panel. We're going to start out with the blade at the top of that panel where it's flat, holding the blade at about a 45 to 50 degree angle from the panel. That will make that number 1 blade, without the stiffener, a fairly stiff blade. But as we slide down the panel, we're going to bring the blade in closer to the panel at about a 20 degree angle. This will allow for the blade to flex, thus accommodating the radius that begins shortly after the top. Here we go. We're placing the blade in at about a 40 to 50 degree angle. There I'm dropping it down to about a 20 degree angle from the surface of the panel. This allows for the blade to naturally radius. I'm going to remove the bead of mud from the edge of the blade and I'm going to apply it in the area where we're starting our sweep, and we're going to do the same thing, applying the blade at about a 40 to 50 degree angle, come down, drop it about right through there so it can make its radius, it can bend and accommodate the shape that naturally occurs on the panel. Again, we're going to remove the plastic filler from the edge of the blade and load it at the top of the sweep. Again, once again, we're starting out at about a 45, 50 degree angle, keeping it nice and flat, and then bringing the blade closer to the panel, creating more of a radius, more of a bend in the blade. Now that all looks pretty good. I'm going to concentrate on the bottom part right here where the panel starts to curve down and just clean that portion up a little bit. It'll be easy to buzz down that little line, and it just makes it so I don't have to do a complete sweep over the entire area. I'll just clean that up. Here it is, lightly sanded. We can see texture in the Bondo. That's no problem. I'm using the less expensive Bondo to begin the repair with, just for economics. Now here I've applied another coat of plastic filler over it and blocked it out, and I only have a little bit left to go there. There's a circle I made with a pencil in this area where it's slightly low, so I did a vertical sweep just from the tail light inward. You can see right there a lighter shade of plastic filler. I've also did a sweep down where the style line begins, below it, with the blade, with the stiffener on it, to create a finished edge in that area. Now if we look at the entire panel, it looks really great. It's been blocked, ready for paint. And here we go. We're looking at the area after paint, after the car's been assembled, and it looks like a brand new panel. It's got a perfect radius sweeping across it in every direction. The style line looks as it did originally. Let's take it outside a little further and have a good look at it. Again, looks like a brand new panel. That portion below the style line where we come down and then it goes from flat into a radiused panel. Get a good look at that. It looks perfect, just like it did originally. And that little curve at the very bottom has a perfect little inverted curve, and just as the panel was originally. It is another fantastic job accomplished using the blade. Thanks for watching.